This is Loktaguna Organic Farm, situated in New Kasama of Lusaka, and we're here to show you how organic farming works in practice. We practice ecological organic farming, where we believe that we have to put back into the soil for the soil to work for us, for our health, for the health of the ecosystem, and the health of the planet as a whole, all the inhabitants inclusive. So we practice a lot of techniques such as mulching, as you can see here. We get farm residue such as maize stover, we get leaves, we get grass, and especially dried ones, and then we put in our fields, and it works on so many levels. One of them is that it conserves water, it suppresses weeds, so that reduces the labor for the farmer, and also it adds organic matter. In other words, it adds manure into your soil, so your soil will always be healthy. And as you're covering the soil, you're also protecting the microorganisms down there. So these are some of the techniques that we use. Instead of using weed killer, we use mulching, and we use only natural material, and it has worked. As you have seen, there are no weeds, only those crops that we are targeting to grow. And another technique that we use in this 150 by 50 plot, we have 3 different types of lettuces. For example, we have got iceberg lettuce, we have got butterhead, and we also have the red frilly lettuce. In this same field, we have herbs, we have coriander, we have parsley. We also have cherry tomatoes. I don't know if you want to see that. For your benefit, we can move this side. But before we move, I'd like to draw your attention to this wonderful, miraculous plant. This is called comfrey. We have comfrey strewn all over our farm. Comfrey is one of our best go-to liquid fertilizers at this farm. For our tomato, when it reaches flower and fruiting stage, this is our go-to fertilizer. For our peppers, the same thing. Even for our maize, at the beginning stage, we use comfrey, and it's so easy to plant. You can buy 1 plant of comfrey and you never have to buy again. Shall we move so that you see what is in this one plot of 50 by 50? And I would like to tell you now that we replicate this, so we have another 50 by 50 of the same phenomenon going on. So basically, as we said, we have here cherry tomatoes and we have beetroot. So there is the red looking stuff, it's beetroot, and we have cherry tomatoes, we have celery, and here on our right we have a line of coriander and a line of celery. So you can imagine if a customer gives us an order and says, I would like herbs, we will run to this one plot, the 50 by 50, and we will get celery, we will get rocket, we will get coriander, and we will get beetroot, we will get all the 3 different types of lettuces that you've seen. And you saw in one shot that there was broccoli. You can get broccoli just on this one plot of 50 by 50. The reason we do this is so that we can practice the push and pull technique, where we abet certain diseases which attack a certain group of crops and not the other. So what you've seen here, if you come in 2 weeks time, all of these lettuces will have gone to the market, and here we'll have planted a different crop, and most likely it will be legume, because before we planted this there was soya beans, and we planted the leafy greens. Afterwards, most likely we're going to plant green beans, and green beans is very marketable where we are going to the hot months. It's very marketable, and so we try to use crop rotation, not just as a technique but also for the benefit of our business. It's very important. Another technique that we use is we use a lot of trees at Loktaguna Organics. So as you can see here in front of us, we have the Musangu tree, as it is called in Zambia. It is in the acacia family. We have a few of these trees dotted around, and these are heavy nitrogen fixing trees. So as you have these trees, not only do they give shade to your fields, they also add the much needed nitrogen, which a lot, if not all, our plants need at growing stage, and others throughout their lifespan. So as you can see, our farm looks like a little forest. We work with trees, and the other advantage of the trees is that they get, when the trees go down, they bring up very good beneficial nutrients up to the surface, and they also bring water. So this is quite a fantastic way of working with nature and farming with nature, the organic way. In the far end there, you will see other herbs. We have fennel, and we also have rosemary and other herbs thrown around. The herbs are very important because they repel insects. They attract certain beneficial insects, and they also repel insects. And we also use our herbs for our business. We sell the herbs in our supermarkets and to the restaurants that we supply. So basically, they're just not for decoration or for repelling insects that are not desirable. They are also part of the business plan and the business growth, because we want to be extremely sure that our crops are healthy. We just know that from animal droppings there are pathogens. So here we have, remember we were talking to you about the comfrey? Here we are fermenting comfrey tea. This is a lot. This will last us a long time. So once this is done, we begin to use it now. We use it as a foliar. Because it's plants, we use it as a foliar. As I said there, we use it as every stage of the plant's growth. But particularly, we have seen very good benefits when we use it in our fruit and flowering plants like peppers and tomatoes and cherry tomatoes. Come have a look at our peppers this side. So this is all we use. The guys, they collect, once it's done, they get the product, they get the comfrey, and they use it on our peppers. It really helps us quite a lot, and we're very grateful that we've known about this plant called comfrey and that we have it. Yeah, so if you see in this line, we also have pigeon peas. We use a lot of pigeon peas also on our farm. We use them in two different ways to add nitrogen to our soil and our crops, and also we dry the leaves and we feed to our chickens, and we get very good results. Disease prevention. So it's really interesting. So this is Azolla. This is a pond of Azolla. It's not doing as great as it should because we think it's because of the cold. It should look more green than this, but it's still okay. Azolla is a pond, is a water weed. It is very high in protein, and studies have shown that it actually has as high protein content as 26%, which is more than soybeans and more than sunflower actually. So the reason we have it here, we supplement our animals, our pigs, our goats, and our chickens. We feed them Azolla. We plant this in the pond, we fertilize it with our manure. Within 3 days it grows, we harvest it, and we feed it to our animals. And what we found is that actually the cost of feeding our animals reduces quite drastically, as much as 25 to 30% by using this. So yeah, it's quite an innovative way of cutting down on costs. Pondweed, which is called duckweed. Duckweed yet again has more protein content than Azolla. We believe that it has 29% of crude protein. So, it's always to benefit the farmer. Everything we do in organic farming is always to benefit the farmer, but always mimicking nature. On the far side there, in that little bush, we have some bees. we have a little apiary here for obvious reasons. And the reason we put the Azolla ponds here is so that our bees can come and have a constant supply of water. So at certain times you find bees drinking out of our ponds, and that's making everyone living in this ecosystem happy. So it's all about creating a small heaven where the human beings are happy, the bees are happy, the ants are happy, and we are creating a balance. Where there's balance, there is no chaos. There's always order. So that's what we're trying to do here. So I'm sure you heard the chicken, the cockerel, making the noise and showing you that it's very happy. Yeah. More section. As I said, we've got pigs, we've got goats, we've got rabbits, we've got chickens. And when we are harvesting our crops from the field, a lot of it which is not supermarket or customer quality ends up here at the chickens, the goats, the pigs and the rabbits. So we're all benefiting from this one place. The birds also come and drink from our ponds. They come and eat some of the bees. So everyone is just living happy and healthily. Yeah, so here we have just this room where we store stuff sometimes. So we are drying our herbs here, as you can see, and our wheat. We had grown some wheat for seed. So yes, this is just a room that we use to dry our herbs. And also the reason we do this is so that the chicken coop can stay fresh from the herbs growing. So instead of our chicken house is smelling foul, the herbs help us. We do the same for the rabbits actually. As you can see, these are the chickens. Well, some of them, they're looking very happy. They have the freedom to move around and do whatever they want. And in return, they give us very nice eggs. They give us very nice chicken meat. And they like to eat Azolla. And also we like to let them out there in a compost type of way so that they go and they scratch. If you can see that side, there are some which are already scratching in the compost. So yes, it's our way of making sure that everyone is happy and satisfied. Yes, so here we are. The chickens are, so whatever comes from the field and we throw it here, and the chickens, they scratch and they eat the insects and whatever is beneficial for them. So we're here in the rabbitary, and we have so many rabbits in here. The benefits of them are many. Rabbits are a farmer's best friend. They are easy to feed, they're easy to look after. They're quite nice and friendly animals. You can have them for fur, you can have them for their meat. And also, I'll just bring something here to show you. You can also benefit from their manure. Rabbit manure is one of the most powerful manure in the world. Actually, what we have found, and actually science has proven this, that the smaller the animal, the more potent the manure. So this is going straight to our field. We're going to use it. We're going to use it in making our compost, and we're going to use it in making our land preparation. And also, we use this to mulch. And also we have urine. You can see that urine is being collected. There's some droppings there. We use the urine. I don't know if I can grab something. So this is the urine that has been collected today. And we sieve this urine. Once we sieve it, we use it also as our fertilizer and also our pesticides. Quite effective, but just from these little darlings in here. So you get meat, you get fur, you get urine, and then you get the manure from them. So they're very interesting. And another thing about them, as I already said, they're very easy to take care of. Their food conversion ratio is better than that of chickens. That is our experience. So you found we spend less, but they multiply at quite a fast rate. But we try as much as possible to give them a good life. They always have clean food, clean hay, clean water all the time in their pens. And we try to make the cages as big as possible so that they can move around. They also have a happy hour where we let them out, and when we want to collect urine, we bring them back into the cages. So yes, this is where we are. So yes.